This week, I'm super excited to share with you guys a tool called NocoDB and looking at how this database system can help us within our Canvas Power Apps or even on the Power Platform in general. I'd like to start by giving you a whole outline of what's going to be contained in this video. First of all, why would you want to use this tool, NocoDB? What are its features and its benefits? Most of us use SharePoint lists as database tables in our applications. And I don't have to outline the drawbacks or the downsides of using SharePoint as a data source. Now, it's not horrible. It's not as bad as using an Excel spreadsheet as a data source. There's so many reasons why NocoDB is far superior from using SharePoint, and it has a few upsides over Dataverse, SQL Server, and we will be discussing those in this video. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Using SharePoint lists as a data source comes with its own set of headaches, and I want to turn these headaches into triumphs. There are lots of aspects to all these different data sources that we have to choose from, and they all come with their own pros and cons, things to consider before we settle on one to use in our applications. Now, by far, the biggest upside to using this tool called NocoDB, which happens to be open source, by the way, is that we can break free from our tenant. Now, I can already hear all the cybersecurity professionals and IT departments screaming. And if you're in that type of environment, more than likely your IT department has everything locked down, so you wouldn't be able to use something like this. And almost every data source is awesome or horrible depending upon the context in which you're implementing it. What I love about NocoDB is that I can store my data outside my tenant or cross-tenant. I think this might be an excellent choice of a data source if you're going to create a Canvas Power App application that will serve as a SaaS product, software as a service. So consider having several databases all in one place with very little limitations or restrictions. And as you heard me before, this is an open source project, which means you're not going to have to pay for licensing. Consider having data out there that would be related to everyone in your industry, your field. Consider those in the Power Platform, the Power Apps community that could share data. Now think about data that's common, like geographic data, postal codes, countries, states, time zones, all kinds of stuff. Who wants to recreate their wheel, right? And who wants to import a CSV file into another SharePoint list? So I'm here to tell you that this NocoDB platform that I'm going to show you in this session, no doubt is better than SharePoint. And perhaps you've been looking for an alternate data source that you could use other than SharePoint. This might be a great alternative for you. Now, just a word of caution, if you don't have premium licensing and that's why you're using SharePoint, this may or may not help you, and that depends on a few factors, okay? I will say at the beginning here that you can access NocoDB through a custom connector using REST APIs. Now, in order for you to create a custom connector, you're going to have a premium license. But consider for a moment, a custom connector can be used within a Power Automate flow. So today we are going to talk about NocoDB. We're going to talk about custom connectors. And we're going to create our custom connector to call the APIs to access this database system. Then we're going to open up Power Apps, bring in that custom connector, use it, and interact with that data. So that's what we'll do here today. So here this week, on Friday, I will be holding a live workshop. And in this workshop, we'll be diving deep and going over a lot more details than I have time for today here. But we'll be building on to the custom connector that we built today. There'll be practical labs to do during the workshop. So sign up for that if you're interested. Here today, I'm pulling in the footage from last Saturday morning's live stream where I covered all of this. I had a lot of technical difficulties, guys. I mean, my mic stopped working, my video stopped working. I had to cut off the live stream and come back. It was a bit crazy. Now, there's going to be some sections of this video I'm probably going to break up into pieces. So when you're nearing the end of this video, make sure that you go on to the subsequent video. And I'll create a little playlist on YouTube. So just in case if you haven't started with this video, you can find this video and watch them in order, okay? If you're really excited about this, sign up for the workshop. Now let's jump into this. Most of you do use SharePoint because of the licensing. And can you feel the restrictions and limitations of the bounds of your M365 environment? Today, we're going to look at an alternative of a data source to use in your Power Apps, your Canvas Power Apps applications, but also your Power Automate flows as well. I absolutely love this NocoDB, and I'm going to show you all the reasons why I'm excited and why I think that you should find it valuable, useful, and perhaps exciting as well. One of the big things about NocoDB, if you could consider having several databases in one place, no code, no limits, no restrictions. Now, let's think about the data sources we're using, primarily SharePoint. Well, SharePoint list, the SharePoint site is going to be within a Microsoft tenant. And as you can imagine, the best data source for the Power Platform is Dataverse, because it was designed for Dataverse. There's less APIs for it to go through. And so it actually is the best one. But, you know, you have one Dataverse database per environment that you have there. Now we are live. I'm going to make sure that I'm keeping up with the chats here. Okay, it looks like we're all good. I just need to sort of check that because I'd hate to think that I'm going live for a while and learn that nothing's happened. So you guys let me know if you hear any echoing or if there's any issues here as we go along. Otherwise, I'm gonna get back to it. Okay, this is a very exciting topic, and this is something that I would like to do in our next workshop. And we do those every Friday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. EST. Now, EST is New York, or better yet, sunny Orlando, Florida time zone. So just keep that in mind. Now, think about all the kinds of data that could be and should be used across applications. Now, if you work in an organization, if you're doing Power Apps, you're in some type of organization, unless you're a freelancer, right? And it's something that I've noticed as a developer over the years is like, you know, I turn to the developer beside me or down the hall, or maybe even have a visit with the DBA or my manager. I'm like, hey, do we have a list of all of our cost centers, our departments, our org chart, all this type of stuff that somebody like me or you shouldn't be expected to create, or should I say recreate, because you know the data's all there. So if you could imagine everything being in one place. Now with Dataverse, you know, the data is siloed within environments, and then you have several environments within a tenant. And if you use a SQL Server on-premise server, you know, you got all your database in an on-premises SQL server, you have to install a data gateway. And I have worked with data gateways and have tried different things. And one of the limitations that I've noticed I haven't been able to overcome, and maybe it's by design by Microsoft, is that it's either difficult or impossible to access that data from a different tenant. Now, I run 3 or more tenants. I know I have at least 3. I think I've got a few other test ones. But there are a lot of times when I want to access data outside the tenant. Now I know you can go into Azure and sort of link up tenants and everything. So that, you know, that is possible. Well, now that you are an app developer, an app maker, why not sell your apps? I'm going to tell you guys a story. And it's something that had a pretty big impact on me. And I'm not going to mention the names to protect the innocent. I had a very close person in my life who worked for a very small software company. And it was run by two brothers. So one brother was the software developer. The other brother had experience in business and also a particular field or industry. And given their two skill sets, their knowledge, they built software that grew. And this person in my life told me, oh yeah, the owners, they only pay themselves once a year. And I'm like, really? Well, that's actually admirable that they're putting their employees first. And she goes, no, they take out $2 million each every December. I'm like, oh, okay. Selling software is really lucrative, and especially if you're using a low-code, no-code tool like Power Apps, the Power Platform.